Let's be real. The world of artificial intelligence can feel huge, right? It's like this massive, uncharted territory. And if you've ever found yourself thinking, where do I even begin? Trust me, you are not alone. So today, we're handing you the map. We're going to break down a really clear, step-by-step roadmap that'll guide you from being a total beginner to actually building things.
So that's the big question, isn't it? Learning AI can seriously feel like you're trying to drink from a fire hose. There's just so much information flying at you. It's always changing, and it is so easy to feel completely overwhelmed. But what if you had a plan, a clear path that could cut right through all that noise?
And boom, here it is. This is our guide for today. This simple 5-step roadmap is what we're going to walk through, piece by piece. The goal here is that by the end of this, you'll have a real, actionable plan to get your own journey into AI started. Okay, let's dive in with step 1. Every big journey starts with the basics, right? You got to learn to walk before you can run. Before you can even think about what tools you need, you have to understand what it is you're trying to build in the first place. So let's start there. So, what is AI really? At its heart, it's actually a pretty simple idea. We are talking about building computer systems that can mimic human intelligence. Things like learning from experience, solving problems, understanding language, or even recognizing what's in a picture. It's a simple concept, but it's one that powers an incredibly complex and amazing field.
And here's a super important thing to get. AI isn't just one single thing. Think of it more like a giant umbrella with all these different specialties underneath it. You've got machine learning, which is basically about teaching computers to learn from data. Then there's deep learning, which gets a little more complex, using structures kind of like a human brain to find patterns. You've also got NLP, which is all about getting computers to understand our language, and computer vision, which is, you guessed it, giving computers the power to see. These are kind of the main continents on our AI map.
All right, so you've got the lay of the land. Now it's time to start packing your bags and building your toolkit. This next part is all about getting the essential gear you need for the journey. That means both the practical skills and the big ideas you'll be working with.
And first things first, let's talk about the tools of the trade. These are the foundational, non-negotiable skills that pretty much everything else in the world of AI is built on top of. So you can think of your core skills in 3 main buckets. Number 1, programming. A language like Python is basically the hammer and nails you'll use to build everything. Number 2, math. I know, but things like linear algebra are just how these systems think about data. And number 3, data handling. This is a huge one because good, clean data is the fuel that makes the entire AI engine run.
Okay, so once you've got those practical skills in your back pocket, you can start applying them to the really cool stuff, the core concepts of AI. Let's take a look at what those are.
This right here is where the magic really starts to happen. This is your AI playbook. You'll use your skills to tackle things like machine learning, whether that's supervised learning, where you're kind of giving the AI an answer key, or unsupervised, where you just tell it to find interesting patterns on its own. You'll dive into the world of neural networks with deep learning, and then use all these powerful ideas to do incredible things with text and images.
Okay, we know what we need to learn, but the next big question is, where do we go to actually learn it? That brings us to step 4 of our roadmap, which is all about finding the resources that work for you.
And the best part about this is there is no single right way to do it. Seriously, whether you're the kind of person who loves a structured online class or you'd rather just curl up with a bunch of articles and books, there is a path out there for you.
So if you like a curriculum and a clear path from A to B, then online courses on platforms like DataCamp, Coursera, or Udemy are going to be your best friend. But hey, maybe you're more of a self-starter. In that case, you can jump right to the source and start reading the latest research papers or what the top minds are saying on industry blogs. That's how you stay on the cutting edge.
Now, this one is huge. Whatever you do, don't try to learn all this in a bubble. It's so much easier and, frankly, way more fun when you're part of a community. Joining forums to ask questions or jumping into a hackathon to build something with other people, that's where the learning really accelerates. It really is a team sport.
All right, we've made it to step 5, and honestly, this is probably the most important step in the entire roadmap. It's time to put all that knowledge into practice, because all the theory in the world doesn't mean a thing until you actually build something with it.
So here's your action plan. First, just start a small project. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to change the world, it just has to be something you build. Then, go test your skills in the real world on a site like Kaggle. And all along the way, keep collaborating. Find people to work with, find mentors to ask for help. This is how you make the leap from someone who is learning to someone who is doing.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it?
You can read every book, you can watch every tutorial, but that deep, real knowledge, that only comes from getting your hands dirty and actually doing the work. Experience is, without a doubt, the best teacher you will ever have.
So let's just zoom out one last time and look at our map. You start with the basics, you build your toolkit, you find the right resources for you, and then you put it all into practice. It's a clear, 5-step path that takes you all the way from curious to capable. Look, it's not going to be easy, but it is straightforward.
And that's it. The map is laid out right in front of you. Every single journey has to start somewhere, with one little project, one line of code, one question you want to answer. So the only thing left to ask is, what will you build first?